Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. We got a great day ahead.
We sure do. We're headed down to San Pedro, Battleship Boogie, USS Iowa. We're going to take a tour. There'll be bands. There'll be stand-up comedy. It's going to be a great day. They're going to fire off those 16-inch guns, too.
Ah, man, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to go back in time today to like 1942. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to show you the inside of this boat. It's going to be insane. You guys looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I'm excited. This event is all about honoring our military members and veterans, so it's going to be awesome.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, made it up on the gangplank. That was pretty cool.
That was kind of wild. I didn't know what to expect, but hey.
He was telling me, don't bottom out at the top. There was a big dip going up and then a big dip going down. What's up, LC? Ready to boogie?
This is so awesome. I can't believe how big the ship is. We're on deck. Bikes are on deck. You know, this is amazing.
Well, things are starting to pick up. We just waited in line for some tacos. What's going on?
Well, we're living like kings here, eating a little bit of the street taco vibe in San Pedro, USS Iowa. It's been a good day so far.
LC?
I'll just say this. Yum.
Who did we run into?
I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
probably
think his
shouldn't
name
even
is
show him.
Warthog or Hogwart or
Yeah.
Justin.
But he's got a really cool hat.
Bike. That's right.
He's got a really cool hat.
So where'd you guys ride out from?
We came up from San Diego.
You and...
My daughter and my buddy Justin and his daughter.
Yo.
And then his fiance and her son.
So wait.
What's that, Logan Paul over there?
Justin and Justin?
J squared right here.
Squared right here, buddy.
That's right.
This is my cruiser Justin. I also have an off-road Justin as well.
Now you brought your daughters on the back of the bikes, and was it a year ago that you came through?
Yeah, we came through in March and we rode from
Up the
San
coast?
Diego to San Francisco.
And you had them on the back and enjoyed that ride as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, this
Pretty cool.
motorcycle world is really trippy. I mean, we meet these guys through motorcycles. Everyone on the deck here is from Motorcycle World, and we're standing on the USS Iowa.
What's your name again? Warthog what?
Warthog bike.
Well, look at those cannons, dude.
Yes,
They're gonna have big cannons.
they're gonna fire one off. I just saw a guy walk
What
by
was
with a
that?
yellow vest and ear protection.
Some ear pro.
So you're downstairs on deck here, not on deck, but underneath, and it's like tight and it has this smell about it, and you lived here for months and months.
How do we always find places for them to shop?
That's a good point.
I don't know, but we love it.
What's about to happen?
We're about to fire that gun off, and we're going to take some people out, I think, across the harbor.
That was loud.
Yeah, baby. What does that tanker out there think?
Yeah. So we're gonna get a little tour, huh?
We are. You know what? Here it is. We are now back in 1942. This is kind of going to be a fun one.
So look, come down to the USS Iowa. They have guided tours. They have self-guided tours. Get here a little bit earlier in the afternoon to do the self-guided, or the guided, sorry. We have Brian here who's going to take us around the boat. Tell us a little bit about the guns.
Okay, so I want everybody to grab a gun, and right here next to the tampion, you will feel a ridge, okay? So that is where the rifling is. So these are actually not cannons, they are actually classified as guns or rifles. Now, these are the largest guns ever put on a U.S. battleship. The South Dakota and North Carolina class have 16-inch 45 caliber. These are 16-inch 50 caliber. And a lot of people are like, wait, caliber? Because those are mock-ups of a 50 caliber machine gun. Naval guns are a little different. The caliber has to do with the length of the barrel. So 16-inch times 50 divided by 12 gives you the length. The USS Iowa holds the record for the longest rifle shot in history. Now, I used to say 27 miles. And believe it or not, they used to get on my case and say, no, you need to be more accurate. It's actually 26.9 miles, all right? And it was accurate. We actually could hit Avalon on Catalina, or, and I really want to do this, especially every time they raise their prices, we can take out Disneyland. So,
I had read somewhere it was 23 miles, so it's really 26.9.
so that is the longest
Okay.
that a battleship has ever fired. And granted, it was under perfect conditions, but the normal would be roughly 23 to 24 miles. The Iowa and the New Jersey hold the record for the longest battle in U.S. naval history. And by longest, I mean distance-wise, not time-wise. Right. Where during Operation Hailstone, they went after a Japanese destroyer, and they were firing at it 22 miles away. Now, if you ever see a destroyer, they're pretty thin, right? And we were chasing it, so we actually never hit it, but we got close enough to cause major damage, and she was put up for at least 6 months after the battle.
So this boat was ordered in 39?
So she was laid down in 1940 and launched in 1943.
Okay.
So,
And it's been commissioned and decommissioned how many times?
so she was decommissioned in 1947, recommissioned in 1950, 58, if I remember correctly, she was decommissioned again and then brought back in 1984 and was finally decommissioned in 1990.
Well, hey, let's go see this ship.
Have you guys heard of the turret explosion? So what happened was they put the round in. So they rolled the round out, they rammed it in there, then 3 bags come out, they ram that in there, 3 more bags come out, and they ram that in there, they close the breech and are ready to fire. Well, after they rolled out the last 3, the breech was still open and a spark ignited the bags and it blew up the entire turret. Now, when I say the entire turret, it went from the turret house all the way down to the bottom of the ship, killing 47 men.
Wow.
Part of the problem was the lower hatch from the turret house was still left open when it should have been closed. I'm not going to go into why it happened. Let's just say the Navy messed up.
User error.
You want to get some really cool stories? This map represents World War II, are all the white lines. Korea is the yellow lines, and then all the red lines are the 1980s and 90s. There is something odd in the Pacific regarding this ship, and I want to see if you guys can pick it up. And just concentrate on the white lines. What was the main naval base in the Pacific?
Pearl Harbor.
Oh, yeah, look, they're skirting by it every time.
Not once did this ship ever go to Pearl Harbor during World War II, which is just bizarre.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
now you guys have heard of the Battleship Bismarck. Yep. Do you know about the Bismarck's brother ship? the Tirpitz. No. The reason I say brother ship is the German Navy calls their ships him, not her. So technically they are brother ships, not sister ships. So the Tirpitz was the brother ship of the Bismarck. It was the same class, and it was actually holed up in a fjord in Oslo because Hitler was scared to death to put it out for fear the same thing would happen to it that happened to the Bismarck. Well, the British Navy found out that it was going to come out on a commerce raid, so they sent a large fleet out here to try and intercept it. The Iowa, having just been launched, was sent out here in case the Tirpitz had managed to get past, so the Iowa would be there to take care of it, because we were at the time the fastest battleship in existence. 33 knots was our stated. Well, when Hitler found out, sent the Tirpitz back into the fjords, and about a year later, the British government sent Lancaster bombers and sank it in the fjord. So that's why we only got up to here. Now this one, you'll notice that this is the only other cruise during World War II. And this is actually one cruise. This is the exact same mission. This was when the Iowa transported FDR and the Joint Chiefs of Staff to the Tehran Conference. Okay? And you'll notice we have the Cairo Conference here. Churchill and FDR actually met with Chiang Kai-shek before going on to Tehran. Now, there were two reasons for that. One, Stalin and Russia was not at war with Japan. Two, he said he would refuse to ever meet with a Chinaman because he was a racist. So they, FDR and Churchill met Chiang Kai-shek here, flew on to here, came back to tell Chiang Kai-shek what they discussed here, and then Churchill made his way back to England. FDR made his way over here to Dakar, Senegal. So the Iowa, after dropping them off, came down here. We had a base in Salvador Bahia to refuel. They didn't want to wait out here because that was German submarine area. Then sailed up to Freetown, which is a British naval base. When they got wind of FDR coming back, they sailed to Dakar, Senegal to pick him up. The French would not allow the ship into port. Why? They wanted to have the honor of bringing the Joint Chiefs and FDR out to the Iowa. And do you guys know what a bosun's chair is? It's a rope chair that is strung between two ropes on the top, usually one rope on the bottom, and they literally have to pull you over from one ship to another. They had to make a special one for FDR because of his polio, and we actually have that exact chair on board. We just haven't figured out where to put it yet. So we're really hoping for that. So afterwards, FDR came here, the ship went into the Pacific and never left until after the war. This is a full broadside, all guns firing at the same time. Okay. Now, how many of you guys think that the ship moves sideways when all 9 guns are firing?
Definitely.
There's definitely a wobble.
Yeah.
But the ship does not move.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Now,
just stationary, just whoop.
Right. Now, there's a few reasons for that. One, it looks like all guns are firing at the exact same time. They do not. They all have a minuscule delay, so you do not get the full brunt of all 9. Also, each barrel recoils 4 feet back into the turret. But the main reason, there's 38 feet of ship underneath the water. It's hard to move 38 feet of ship.
Sure.
What you're actually looking at with this is the concussive force. You guys have seen Under Siege with Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
Where they take over the Missouri. So there's a scene where they fire the gun and Tommy Lee Jones' character goes flying backwards. Depending on where he is, that would happen, but where he was, his body would have exploded.
Wow.
This is the office, and then the other open door is the bedroom and shower.
Wow.
I think this is the best cabin on the ship. These are the senior officers' quarters in here. This would be lieutenant up to commander, basically.
That's bed in there.
There's the head.
By the way, do you know why it's called a head?
No.
In the age of sail, to use the facilities, as it were, you would go up to the bow, and there would, or the head of the ship, they would have a hole on either side. You would actually sit on that hole, do your business, and the waves washing over the bow would actually clean the ship and get rid of all of it. And so that's why they're called heads, because the original was at the head of the ship.
Yes.
Learn something new every day.
What's going on down there?
Look how many decks. I mean, you can. How many decks are there?
Oh God, we got 13 up and 8 down.
Wow.
So everything below this deck is called a deck. Everything above is called level. Well, this is the captain's in port cabin. So the captain would only be here when the ship was in port or at anchor. Now, he has 2 other cabins on board. One is on the 04 level, which is the navigation bridge, which is about the size of my closet at home, maybe a little smaller. And then he has another one on the battle bridge, which is on the 08 level. So that would be 7 levels above us. Again, he was only here when the ship was in port, but he's the captain. Why would he even be here when the ship is in port? He'd be in a hotel or officers' quarters or something like that. So he was very rarely ever here. All right, and that's why I say this is a nice cabin, sure, but he was never here. So, but the commander down below, that was his all the time. So that's why I say that was the nicest cabin.
How long is the boat? The ship?
887 feet.
I mean, if you look, it's like mirrors.
Yeah. And that's
That guys are running through there.
yeah, and that's probably only about 580 feet,
yeah.
if that. By the way, this picture right here is the Willie D. Porter, the jinxed ship. Also, you can see in that second to last picture where the lifts were for FDR. This is the same bathtub, so yes, FDR's butt did sit there.
What's the history on that bathtub, boys?
It's the only bathtub on the U.S. Navy on any battleship.
No, he said there's others.
Not on a battleship.
Not on a battleship.
Not on a battleship. But
There
there
it
are other
is.
bathtubs on other Navy ships.
And what bathtub is that?
FDR's.
FDR, right there. His butt was in that bathtub.
Look at that view.
It's amazing, and I don't know if you can catch it, but that's Catalina out there.
Oh, wow.
So if they fired one of these big 16-inch guns, they could hit that island 23 miles out. Beautiful.
Yeah, let me get some macaroni. Sir. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that was a pretty
Lance
cool
and
tour.
Galen right there.
Yeah, Lance and Galen.
That was a great tour. Brian did a great job. Hope you guys enjoy this, and let's finish off the day. Well, what a fun day here at the first annual Battleship Boogie USS Iowa down in San Pedro. Man, the tour was great, wasn't it?
It's great, man. You're on the Iowa. We went back in time. We got to go down in the ship and check some stuff out. I mean, I'm sure you guys love that. But one thing that I learned is a cowboy hat and Navy don't work too good because it's a lot of small corridors and stairways are really steep. It kept hitting my head, but it worked out. It was great.
Well, I don't think anyone over 5'10" should really be on this boat.
Right.
And I hit my head a few times and my arm, but what a great time. Really want to thank Brian for taking that time out of his day to do the tour. Hey ladies, what did you think?
We loved it. We just finished talking to Brian and thanking him again for what a great tour.
Great tour, and we just found out that there's a Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. They come and spend the night. They spend the night tonight. They get fed. They get a tour.
They get to go sleep in the bunks.
Really?
Yeah. And it is haunted. He said that it's haunted. So
I wonder if we could get a sleep in the bed bunks and get a tour. I don't know.
We probably could, but you know what? A great time if you ever get a chance. If you're in Long Beach, San Pedro,
San Pedro.
come down and see the ship. It's awesome.
Ladies, what do they need to do?
They need to subscribe, comment,
Ring that bell.
and give a thumbs up.
Hey, if you get a chance, come to our open house December 7th.
2024.
And by the way, twolanelife.com. Get all your merch and Beachwind parts. Come on now. See you down the road.